Sorry y'all, I ain't got no haters. All I got is motherfucking players. We get money in motherfucking layers. Sorry y'all.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to your first episode of Clutch TV. I'm your host, the wonderful Shake. Just a little background. The reason why Clutch TV has been made is because, unfortunately, it's 2019. We are soon going to hit 2020, and we've lived in an era where there's a lot of posers out there. But when it comes down to the science of the car, when it comes down to the details of the car, the lovemaking of the car, it's a quality that has been lacking. And with Top Gear not being as good as it has been, and Grand Tour is amazing, their dynamic is changing, so it's going to be interesting how that comes around. We get asked a lot of questions about, what we think about certain cars, and we're here to judge the car. We're not here to tell you that the newest car is always the greatest, and a few episodes later we'll explain that why. But we're here to judge the car. You're going to have different drivers who have different driving techniques, and they can make the car dance around the track where other drivers won't be able to do that. So we're here to judge a car. We're here to tell you what we think of the car, what the pros are, what the cons are, if it's good. This is like Tinder, but for cars, except we're not really swiping left and right so much. But you get the idea. So our first episode, because we've had a lot of people ask us about this, and that is about what do we think is better, the GT3 RS or the McLaren 600 LT. Now, the clip you're going to see, we have onboard video from the GT3 RS with the Smarty Cam system set up there, so you're going to see all the data and the timing. And that car was driven by pro driver Chris Hill. He also drove a 600 LT we call the Stormtrooper, and we're using the onboard integrated McLaren telemetry, so the video quality isn't as good. The timing doesn't show on it, but what from Chris told us, he got the car down into, I believe, 1:54. This car did not have any track alignment. Now, for all the people out there who have seen a lot of YouTube videos and they think they're car experts, the track alignment, it's not going to knock off like 4 or 5 seconds, guys, but it does help with just getting better tire wear, which will give us a little bit more grip. So enjoy the video. We may put a video of ourselves driving the car so you can see the difference in lines, and you get to see just how much more consistent the pro driver is. But this is the amazing thing. Chris Hill, with a passenger on board, which is me, and I weigh about 163 pounds, actually went very, very fast. He's actually going to be probably on the record books for Bun Willow Racetrack, because he got the car down to 1:53 and some change. And had I not been in the car, honestly, we estimate with an open track, he probably would have got down to 1:49 with the way he was going, especially with a pair of brand new tires. So really happy that he actually beat Motor Trend's, lap time with a passenger in the car in the dead heat of the day. And that's that. enjoyed the video of watching Chris Hill drive those cars and dance around them around the racetrack. First, let's talk about the LT. It is an amazing car. I think the one thing that they absolutely nailed in that car, it is the steering. When it's come to steering, Porsche and Ferrari, in my opinion, have been the best two car manufacturers with steering feel and steering input. And to be honest, I have felt Ferrari's always even been better than Porsche, because the steering on a Ferrari is so light. I mean, you turn it and it goes. Like, it doesn't matter what direction. Like, you're here, the car will go there. You're here, the car will go there. I mean, it's, you know, you drive other cars and like you're here and the car's still going straight. It's just so damn precise. And you know what? McLaren nailed it. There's one thing they nailed on this car, which is giving that competitive edge. It is the steering. For those of you who have been to Buttonwillow, imagine going through the bus stop. You're making that left, going through the sweeper, right? And as you're going through the sweeper, there's a part where the apex is like right, you know, it's far off down here. I'm able to turn the car, get on the gas to about 100 miles an hour, hit that apex, and it could probably go faster, just I don't want to do because it's not my car. But man, it was so precise. It was nostalgic of driving a 997.2 GT3. It was the same feel, maybe because of the fact that they have, you know, a hydraulic rack in there, and it just gives you certain feedback that no matter how amazing electric steering has become, there's a numbing in electric steering that is there. The technology is amazing, but there's a numb factor. It cushions certain things. That hydraulic steering in the McLaren, just, man, you pinpoint it, you feel it. And when you're going through DS's, going down the back straight, right before the main straight, that final turn, you brake hard, you turn into it. It sets up the car so nice. I'm not saying the Porsche sucks at it. The Porsche is still amazing. I'm just saying the McLaren nailed the steering, and I think it's got a better steering system than Ferrari right now. And it's just like that much better. Engine noise. Love the engine noise in the McLaren. I was completely just amused. I felt like a kid, you know, going to the movie theaters when it was fun. And you're just hearing the popcorn machine go off. That's the noise the McLaren engine makes in the LT as you're revving the shit out of this car. It's amazing. It is amazing. It's just all the sounds like pop, 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 pop. It's awesome. Hands off there. Phenomenal. You know, I wish you guys could hear it. I hope you can. But it's just one of the most exhilarating sounds you'll hear in a car, especially in a turbo car. Brakes, phenomenal. I can't tell you which one is better, LT or GT3 RS, but I'll say this. Consistency on both cars was there. Downside to LT, the pads were completely gone, according to the owner, by the third track day. And it costs you over 2 G's to replace it. If, you know, they die that quick. Your pads are going to cost you 2 G's, should last you 4 to 5 years before getting replaced. So that's just one downside. Me having driven the car, I can tell you just, you know, after my warm-up lap, going to lap 2, lap 3, we got down to minute 58, minute 57. It just gave you that much confidence. Would I be able to go faster? Possibly, but the car just gives you that much confidence, and that's what's amazing. For McLaren to have progressed and evolved this much in such a short time period was phenomenal. It's a great car, and if you have one, enjoy it, and don't listen to all the bullshit on the internet, because looking at the car objectively and scientifically, thoroughly impressed. You know, if I had one right now, I would be stoked. And who doesn't want a car with doors that swing up? I mean, it's hot as shit. It's a wonderful car. And just with all the noise that the engine makes and the way the steering feels, and the gearbox is very, very good. The brakes are great, just the pads suck. So maybe look into getting some replacements for the pads. Make sure they won't wear out the rotors, because on McLaren we have no data as to how good those rotors are over a course of, you know, time. Whereas a Porsche and BMW, we know their carbons are great. The carbon ceramics are great for years. I'm talking 5, 6, 7 years. And they still don't have to get replaced. RS, amazing attributes. It's the downforce. The downforce of the turns, phenomenal. Feels like the damn Cup car with just a little bit less downforce. Engine is amazing. It's screaming at, you know, it's a screamer, right? It's like being back in the dorms and you had those neighbors that were screamers. You know what I'm talking about? For you guys at UC Riverside up in East Low, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, you're talking about an NA motor, which is a It's the last of the samurai. It's a dying art, a dying breed. It's a rev-happy engine, so it's an engine that wants to be pushed above 5,000 RPM. And that's where the most fun is in that car. Amazing downforce allows you to carry more speed into the turn and carry more speed out the turn. Whereas with the McLaren, because of the lack of downforce, not that it doesn't have any, it's just not as much as the Porsche. You know, you're not able to carry as much entry speed in, but exit, and with the way the steering is, it makes up for it. Porsche, you know, German engineering, you put one input, you're going to get the same output. So the same input will always equate the same output. And that gives you a lot of confidence as a driver to improve your driving, make it smoother, and to see how can you get a little bit faster at the track one turn at a time. And at the end of the day, you know, you're dealing with German precision, and that's what you're paying for. I think in the long run, there are people, you know, knocking on Porsche's doorstep. If they don't take their competition seriously, they'll get their ass knocked out like Anthony Joshua. They're going to get complacent and get knocked the F out. And we've seen Lamborghini trade blows with these guys already, the Nürburgring and other tracks. McLaren is not even on their doorstep, like they are at the door, like with the door open already, coming in. So for Porsche, I think to succeed in the long run, because they are still the king of the hill. At the end of this, I'm still going to tell you Porsche, in terms of quality and consistency and precision, is still the best. Like, everyone's trying to beat them. And we're not even including some of the AMG cars that are trying to catch up to them. But they are the king of the hill, and if they want to stay there, they can't get complacent like Anthony Joshua and get knocked the F out. They have to continue evolving. I think they have to, at this point, really consider adding more power to their cars. Like, they put baby amounts of power into their cars, but if they're going to keep their cars underpowered like this, they have to find a way to make them significantly faster through weight reduction. But overall, the gearbox in the Porsche, best. No one beats it. Engine's amazing. Ride comfort's amazing. And around the track, just the consistency you're getting, the steering input, the way just every part of the car communicates with one another, you feel that, and that's very important. So at the end of the day, in conclusion to all this talk, I can't tell you what's better. I really think they're both amazing. If I'm presented the option of pure Kobe A5 steak versus American Wagyu, some people have a preference towards Kobe. Some people have a preference towards Wagyu. I think they're both great. It just matters, what do you want that day? This is really one of those situations where if the Porsche is better, it's better for finite reasons. It's better because it has better build quality, better consistency, and the parts are more durable. And those are the only reasons. But as a car, they're both great. You know, the downside to the McLaren, of course, is just a high operating cost with such a high cost on the brake pads. But when you remove that out of the equation, both cars are phenomenal. And we're excited to see what happens next time. And hopefully we can get Mr. Hill out there to drive the cars. And to Porsche Racing and BMW Racing, or even Stroll Racing of F1. We think you should give Chris Hill a shot. Give him a shot, because the reason why racing sucks right now is because you have a lot of, you're going after the money with all these little rich boys. And when you do that, your teams will suck and the sport will suck. Imagine if the Lakers or the Toronto Raptors, who just won an amazing championship, put players on their teams because their daddy or their mommy or their uncle or some billionaire they know was going to give you money. The sport would fall apart. Bring in the talent and the money will follow. Guaranteed. So give this guy a shot. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we hope to see you guys in the next upcoming weeks with more videos of the cars that we drive. Take care.